So here we are again. Browers Line again. Same road as yesterday. Well, actually, I'm recording this today, so I don't know. Same road as today, I guess. Whatever that means. Anyway, I decided I went to Elmer, beautiful little Mexican Mennonite community not far from our house, and I decided to circle back and catch Browers Line on the way back and tell you my little story that I referenced yesterday, which is actually today. Anyway, I got thinking about this little conservation area up here. Trying to think of the name, it'll come to me. Anyway, it's just a area that's been, I don't know, blocked off some years ago. There's an old bridge in there, which actually used to be a vehicle bridge, which is still standing. You can ride your bike across, and a bunch of trails and so on. Anyway, years ago, I don't know, close to 20 years ago, I guess, I used to go there fairly regularly with some friends, another bunch of old guys on their mountain bikes, and we'd go ride the trails in there. And some of them, where they weren't real technical trails in the sense that, you know, they were dangerous or you had tons of roots or, you know, just real, risky stuff. They were fairly challenging. There was some steep hills up and down and so on. So anyway, there was one little hill in there that every time we'd go there, we'd challenge ourselves to ride up that hill. It was a very short little hill, extremely steep, and very hard to get up, and we'd never get up that damn hill. It had a couple of problems. The one is you couldn't get a good run up at it. There was, at the bottom of the hill was a stand of trees, and even though there was a path kind of, across the bottom of the hill, you just could not get any momentum to charge up the hill. You couldn't, you'd have to either get down the path and make a sudden turn and try to maintain your momentum, or you'd have to dodge through the trees dangerously and see if you can build up a bit of speed to get started up that little hill. And then once you got going up the hill, it was so steep that if you didn't perfectly maintain your balance so that you still had some traction and try to desperately to maintain your speed, pedal hard, you had to gear down real quickly because you need to be in a little higher gear to try and build that momentum, and then to try to force your way up that, it was only like a 10-second hill, but no one would ever do it. Either fall over or simply lose traction or so on. I remember one time going up the hill, pedaling like mad, but losing traction, yet maintaining my balance such that I was actually going backwards, sliding back down the hill while spinning my wheels, until eventually I fell over, of course. So we'd do this every week, and every week we'd tease each other about who got the closest and so on, and one day it all came together, and I made it up the top of the hill, and then I just fell over laughing. And of course, I told my buddies that from then on, the rest of the world would be divided between those who had and those who hadn't. Anyway, I don't know if any of them ever made up that hill in the last 20 years, if they even tried. Anyway, I'm into metaphors and analogies and similes and what's that other thing that Gail said? I can't remember. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm thinking this little hill is kind of a metaphor for change. As I try to change things in my life, first thing you need to do is build a little momentum. Somehow, find a clear enough space, dodge between the trees, You know, the trees could be the regular daily shit that goes on, and try not hit any of those trees, or you know, sneak up on the hill by coming sideways at it and making a sudden left turn or right turn and trying to maintain that momentum. Anyway, that's difficult enough as it is, right? You know, life goes on, and every day you wake up there's some challenge. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just the way it is, right? So anyway, I'm coming to the top of this hill here. At the bottom of the hill, or near the bottom of the hill, there's a little conservation area on the right hand side. And there's two dogs. Aren't they lovely? You see them? Oh, they're friendly dogs. Won't get bitten today. Anyway, down the hill to the one-way bridge. Go like mad. I'll start talking again when I get to the bottom, if that's okay. Doug Patterson Conservation Area? No, that doesn't sound right. That's a bigger one. I forget this one's called. Maybe they have a sign. Okay, I gotta pay attention. Across the bridge. Archie Coulter Conservation Area. Whoever Archie is, I have no idea. Probably somebody that did something good. Anyway, cross the beautiful bridge. So, you work hard to get enough momentum, and you start working on some real change, some difficult change, something really important, like my tendency to spin fantastic stories about futures full of doom and pain, and you get going facing that little problem and going up this incredibly steep hill. Oh, not the one in front of me. It's not near as steep as the metaphorical one. Anyway, and you've got to maintain your balance, and you got to keep you got to keep enough weight on your butt so that you maintain some traction, and yet you want to stand up because you want the extra power that standing up gives you, and you got to make everything just perfect. It seems to gain that little knoll, and you know at the top is there's better things waiting, but it's tough to make change, at least for me. Some others are better at it, but I think generally it's part of the human condition that we resist change. Anyway, this hill's steep enough, 10%. Anyway, tired now. So that's my metaphor for change. Build some momentum despite the daily challenges of life. Hit the hill with some speed. And focus, focus, focus. Do the work. Do it carefully. Keep some weight on your butt. But power, lots of power. Inevitably gets to the top of that little knoll, and if there's a God in heaven, you get a rest there. And while I may not picture God in heaven, I do picture God. Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Again, if it's a metaphor, I should be able to coin it in a few words, but they won't come to me, maybe because there's no blood going to my brain right now. I think that's the last of the real hills. I'm probably, 10, 12 kilometers from home. 31 kilometers in. Anyway, that's it for today, which was actually yesterday, which I'm posting today. And hope it all works out. Love, Peter.